How much of the Black Bears episode are we going to have to cut out? Just that one portion?
None.
None?
Oh, just that one part.
Just that one part. All right, you ready?
Let's do it. Here we go.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. We are your host, Tyler and
Jimmy
Miller. Where's Jimmy?
Tyler.
Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Bro, Sacramento. I mean, that's like, I'm a Northern California guy, so.
I have a gift for you. Oh. You guys are crazy. You guys are great. Yes. I think I've gained quite a bit of fans, but I've also gained a few non-fans.
Like Gates Johnson.
Exactly.
We'll get into that. Whoa, what is this?
Are you ready?
What is happening? Oh, sick. Look at that. Our guy. Is that socks?
Your biggest hater.
This guy. What? That's a sick shirt, though. He gave this to you for me?
He gave it to me.
Should I wear this to MLP?
Oh, my gosh.
That's so dope. Bro, I'm not going to.
You're required to not wear a hat with that, he's going to say.
Hey, I will no longer block you on YouTube for being annoying. Okay.
All right, welcome back.
Awesome. Wait, real quick, before we get started, what color is my shirt?
It is it's a light purplish. You
called it lavender.
It's lavender. It looks lavender in the light.
But your wife called it periwinkle blue.
Periwinkle, yeah.
I think it's blue.
We can get a color board right here to match it. Right.
Yeah.
I've never seen you in a collared shirt.
I know, dude. Sunday.
You feeling preppy?
Sunday. Feeling good. Let's get it.
Thank you to our title sponsor of this show, which is The Pickler. They have the best indoor facilities all across the world. If you're interested in joining a beautiful indoor facility, go check them out. Also, they are expanding their franchising. So if you'd like to own your own business involved in pickleball, go check them out at thepickler.com. Tell them the boys at KOTC sent you. Also, they own Stack Athletics.
Yeah.
And they just came out with a new line. It's called Summer 2024. And it's incredible. Absolutely love it. Been wearing it when I've been playing. You
guys can't see these, but Stack shorts right here.
Yeah. So really, really cool stuff. Go check them out.
I'm wearing nothing.
Use code KOTC. Pickleball Central, also a partner of this show. Use code KOTC. And I'm not trying to push our product or our code on you, but our code did get frozen last week because essentially too many people were using it. So if you are eyeing a specific product at Pickleball Central, go get it right now before the code may or may not get delayed.
They were too good. You guys are too good at purchasing things
at saving money,
and distributing our code. So we thank you for that, but it did get frozen. So like Tyler said, don't wait. Father's Day is coming up. If you want something, go get something for your dad in your life. You know what's better to buy your dad than a Pickler franchise?
I thought you were going to say a pickleball paddle.
How about a Pickler franchise?
Yeah.
Or a paddle.
Everyone's got a couple 100,000 laying around.
Or a C&D net. Or a box of Vulcan ball. I mean, there's a million things you can go get your dad. Go get the full KOTC package.
Yeah, full KOTC suite.
Yes.
Oh, also, we have a new sponsor. We know that you guys love hearing about the sponsors of the show. Yes. However, need I remind you, without these guys, this show would not be possible. Jimmy would not be able to show up here daily, weekly without our sponsor. So thank you.
Gas is not cheap.
But we've been in talks for... You're going to get in trouble for that.
Wow.
We've been in talks for a very long time with this specific category.
Yeah.
Nutritional supplements. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously I'm the picture perfect, of health. And so we've had quite a few nutritional supplements reach out to us. Mm-hmm. And we have decided to partner with one called Holey.
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 Yes.
Go follow them on Instagram. Holey, Holey Performance on Instagram.
Yep.
The one thing that we love about them is they have 4 different SKUs right now, 4 different products in multiple flavors.
Yep.
They have a pre-game, which is like a pre-workout type. They actually have an in-game, so you get your hydration as you're playing pickleball. And then they have a post-game so you can recover. Mm-hmm. So you have all 3 of those. It's like a full
sweet
program. And then they actually have greens.
Yep.
So you can get all those greens in as well. So all 4 of those different flavors. Tyler and I, are actually going to come out with our own KOTC flavor.
Yep.
What should it taste like?
So
The tears of your opponents?
Exactly. Yeah. Should we mention a couple of our flavors?
Yeah,
I'm thinking Tiger's Blood.
Tiger's Blood could be good.
We could say Tyler's Blood or Tiger's Blood.
Tyler's Blood.
You know, the Airheads, they have that mystery white flavor.
Yeah, white gummy bear.
Yeah, white gummy bear.
White gummy bear is amazing.
Yeah. So those are the 2 ones I was thinking of. If you have any other suggestions
should we do
flavor,
a poll?
just let us know in the comments what you think would be.
Yeah,
what
what's a good flavor? Like, what's your favorite flavor?
Yeah.
And we're going to have a KOTC branded flavor.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Did you think about that when we first started the pod that we would have a KOTC flavor?
No, it's pretty sick, to be honest.
Anyways, it's incredible. These guys are creating this for pickleball players, for the community. They have great branding, great logos. I love the product. The temperatures in these tournaments are getting hotter. And I'm not joking, in Sacramento, most of the days were over 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And after playing 1 or 2 matches, you're exhausted. You're sweating a ton, you're cramping. And all these products that Holy is making is going to help with that. And so go check them out if you're needing more electrolytes or more sugar or just more energy. It's going to help you.
And guess where else you can get Holy?
At the Pickler.
All the Pickler Pro shops.
Yep.
We'll be carrying Holy. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we had a big weekend. PPA was back at it again in Sacramento, in Roseville, I believe, Lincoln or Roseville.
Yeah, Roseville. Just outside of Sacramento.
The area was pretty nice that the venue was at. It was at a Lifetime. They had, I don't know how many courts, but the normal layout of most of the courts was normal. And then they had a bunch of other courts that were diagonal, which... I don't know why they do that.
When they did that aerial view, it was interesting.
It actually looks cool from bird's eye, but playing on it is just a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Roseville's a beautiful area. Obviously, I'm glad that
I had maybe 6 to 8 Lyft drivers while I was there, and every single one of them was super friendly. Yeah, they really wanted to talk.
Yeah, Roseville.
The entire time.
They smoke a lot of weed in Roseville.
The entire time they really wanted to talk.
There's a lot of, that whole area, Roseville, Yuba City's up there. There's a place called Auburn. That was the first time I ever went to In-N-Out was in Auburn.
Okay.
Years ago.
All right. Men's doubles.
I mean, this is getting right to the meat.
Okay.
Men's doubles. So we had a new partnership that everybody was talking about.
We had quite a few partnerships, but
quite a few. Which, by the way, Anna Bright sent out a tweet and she said that she wishes that the announcers
would stop
asking about new partnerships or talking about them. But when Ben's not playing with Colin, I mean, it's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
When Ben's not playing with Annalie, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I get why she wouldn't want them to talk about it because her and James both lost with Ben and they're the only 2 to really lose with him. So maybe they don't want that attention. But the reality is when there's these new partnerships, it is a huge deal. And that's what pickleball fans have been clamoring for.
Yeah.
Right? That's why this shuffle draft that APP did intrigued a lot of people. And Connor Pardo actually tweeted out, should we do a shuffle draft? Because you like to see these new partnerships.
Yep.
And so men's doubles, I mean, J-Dub and Dylan have won 3 straight championships.
So apparently
titles.
PPA tweeted out or mentioned that they were going for their 4th gold in a row.
Yeah.
And they said they would have tied the record. Is that true?
Yeah. So I guess Ben and Colin have won 4 in a row.
It seems like Ben and Colin have won a lot more than 4 in a row.
They've never won 5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I bet they've won like 8 of 9. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because some people looked into it and I guess they just took some tournaments off, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so a couple things. I mean, first round kind of went how you would expect. I didn't think there was anything crazy on there. Second round is where things got, or round of 32 is where things got wild.
Okay.
Kevin Dayan?
I think they were saying Dayan.
Kevin Dayan.
Yeah.
And Naveen Beasley.
Yes.
Who Naveen Beasley's a very good singles player.
He's a good singles player. Yeah.
He hasn't had a ton of success in doubles, but
I actually played him in mixed doubles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go in and they take game 1 from Jack Stock and Thomas Wilson, 11-3. And, there's a little bit of buzz there and everyone's like, whoa. Well, then Sock and Thomas come back and they pickle him 11-0.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, this is over. But Beasley and Kevin win game 3.
11-9.
11-9, upsetting Jack Sock and Thomas Wilson.
And they were actually down towards the end of that third game.
Yeah. They played great. Honestly, they looked good. They played great. Jack Sock missed a lot of forehandings.
So Kevin, this Kevin guy, I think he has a little bit of a unique style, and he was just jamming Jack a bunch, like bagging him. I think he bagged him 3 to 5 times, and I just don't think Jack was familiar with his style.
Yeah, and honestly, they got the best of him and picked up a huge win. Now, what's crazy is because they won that, and then Pat Smith got hit in the eye in mixed and was forced to withdraw. So Pat Smith and Colin Schick aren't there. So now Ryan Finley and Sam Angelo get a walkthrough without Pat Smith. And so we have a round of 16 of Kevin Dion, Naveen Beasley taking on Ryan Finley and Sam Angelo.
Exactly. So they made it to the quarters.
Yeah.
Naveen Beasley and Kevin versus Fed.
And
they got
Hayden.
to the quarters.
Yeah, they get all the way to the quarters.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. And then honestly, Fed and Hayden, no offense to these guys, but they play Derek Shearer and Farzine Amiri, who Derek Shearer and Hayden are obviously very close friends. Pesta Teone and Craig Johnson play Steve Deacon and Ivan.
Yeah.
And then so Fed and Hayden get Pesta and Craig, and they get, Farzine Amiri and Derek Shearer like they had, and then they get Kevin Dion and Naveen Beasley.
Yeah.
They might have had the easiest road to the semis in terms of seeding and, name recognition in PPA history. It's possible.
It's up there, but I'm sure there's been others that have
But what
been,
I'm saying is like people were like, oh, geez, that's a walkthrough.
Yeah, yeah.
But then they get to the semis and they get Gabe Tardio, Riley Newman, who had just upset Ben and James. Did you get to see any of that match? I know you're on site.
I still have yet to watch the replay. I'm interested to watch that, but
let me break it down for you. Gabe Tardio, I think the right side player is changing before our eyes.
Agreed.
Guys like Gabe Tardio and Hayden Patrick Quinn are the new generation of right side players.
How so?
Well, they're attacking from the right.
Okay.
They are playing bigger on the right. They're not just sitting there and letting the left side player do everything. Gabe Tardio ate Ben John's lunch. Ben did not dare speed up a ball to Gabe because Gabe was killing him on every speed up. So Ben started going middle. Once he starts going middle, now you're getting Riley involved again. And Riley's obviously long and gangly. And honestly, Tardio and Riley were winning every single hands battle. And then Ben was overplaying Ignatowicz a lot. Someone made a post about how Ben and Ignatowicz should have switched, and that's the most asinine thing ever.
Yeah.
Ben's the best left side player of all time.
Yeah.
He's the best player of all time.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to switch. Now, could Ben have given James 35% of the court instead of the 25% he gives Colin? Sure. But with that being said, you know what you're getting when you play with Ben Johns.
Yeah.
And, your James Ignatowicz has just got to be ready. I'm sure he wasn't used to that. But the right side player is changing, and Tardio stood in front of Ben, and he won every single exchange. They went behind Ben. They weren't scared of him. And Riley and Gabe, and we mentioned this on the pod, they are an awkward enough combo that Ben has never seen to upset them.
And another factor is they were using the new Vulcan Pro, Vulcan V Pro flight ball, the new Gen ball. And so that is very, 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 very similar to the previous version. However, it is slightly different. And so that's another thing to
And they
take
said that
into
it was a
account.
little bit of a softer because of the heat.
Yeah, it was over 100 degrees. I don't care what ball you play with. It's going to be soft.
Yeah, exactly. And so, that's a big upset and a big win.
It is, yeah.
And so Tardio and Riley.
So a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Riley got the monkey off his back." He did in the sense that he beat Ben, but to me, Ben wasn't with Colin with his normal partner.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a little bit tainted in my perspective.
Well, and he had the Johns killer on his team. It was Tardio 3-1 in his last 4.
Somebody said
Ben.
2-1. Yeah, 2 or
him and
maybe
Desky beat
3-1.
him twice, right?
Yeah.
And then they lost once.
Yeah.
And then he just beat him again.
Yeah.
So Tardio's 3-1 in his last 4.
Yeah.
And he is like I mean, yeah, he's the Ben John Slayer. He's his kryptonite.
Yeah.
And I really think it's because one, it's awkward. Two, he doesn't sit there and get in dink battles. He knows his game. Mm-hmm. And three, he has way faster hands than Ben.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I just think his speed ups and his attacks.
He's got way more reach for sure.
Does.
And so he can reach in there and poke. And
he attacks from different angles.
Yeah.
And he attacks off of different balls. He goes
for a lot.
He does go for a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a huge win for Tardio and Newman. So they go to the semis against Fed and Hayden.
Okay.
Top half of the bracket. J-Dub and Dylan just kind of rolled through the round of 32. Round of 16. You guys had you and Connor Garnett, you guys had a tough 3-game match against Yates Johnson and Roscoe Bellamy.
We did. It was very entertaining.
So you win game 1, 11-8. Mm-hmm. They get you 13-11. Were you up in the second game?
We actually had one match point in the second game. I think it was 10-9.
Okay.
And then they came back to win that one.
They win that. And then you get to game 3.
Yep.
And you guys pull out 12-10, but it sounds like, so Tyler, let's just talk about this. You missed an overhead.
I do miss an overhead, a totally easy overhead. I was up at the kitchen line, should not have missed it. I missed it out by, 10 feet. And guess what? Roscoe starts taunting me. He starts laughing at me. Full on laughing. Literal ha 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 ha. Roscoe. Laughing at me. And I was really bothered. Yeah. And I said, "Are you laughing at me?" And then immediately he stopped. Immediately.
Oh. Did you intimidate Roscoe?
I don't know. Oh. at the end of the match, he was really, really nice to me. He's like, "Sorry about that. It was just the heat of the moment." And I was fine with that. But the next point, I return it. And then the very next ball, their third, I hit an Ernie off of it. And it was a clean winner. So it felt really nice. Yeah. And
then you guys end up winning 12-10.
Yeah. It was pretty chippy, pretty chirpy. Yeah. There was a lot of.
It's just interesting because, I don't feel like Roscoe and Yates chirp a lot, but when and Connor doesn't, and you really don't unless someone chirps at you first.
Yes. Yep.
But when games get tight like that, it seems like that nervous energy comes out, and that's how a lot of people kind of project that energy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you guys win that. You get to the quarters, run into J-Dub and Dylan.
So apparently they were short on refs.
Okay.
Yesterday, which is why the games were delayed.
It's too hot for those old people.
I'm not joking. We probably had a 4 to 5 hour wait in between one of our matches, and then we got called out, and then we had around a 10-minute turnaround time. Not saying that's why we lost. We got steamrolled by J-Dub, Johnson, and Dylan. I thought they just played super solid. And then they go on to play Tyson Deckel. They win in 3. It was actually pretty close in that third game, 11-8.
Yeah.
So we're on to the finals now. J-Dub, Dylan, Federico, and Hayden. And I will be very honest with you. I think on paper, you're like, okay, well, J-Dub and Dylan are going for 4 in a row. I mean, they've literally, they did lose game 1 to Tyson and Deckel, but they won 2-8, 6-1 against you guys, 2-4 against Rafa and Will House. They didn't have an easy road. Yeah.
Moda and Ryan Eveloff 1-1. So, they were on fire. They were rolling through teams, and they run into our guy, Big H.
Big H.
Again, go back to what we said about Tardio and Newman, which first of all, Fed and Hayden beat Tardio and Newman in 3. But go back to what we said about Big H is playing a different right side. Mm-hmm. He's playing right side with Fed. He's playing bigger. He probably took 65% of the court from the right.
Yeah.
He was attacking everything. Everybody knows his hands are insanely quick.
Yeah.
And honestly, they beat J-Dub and Dylan at their own game.
Yeah.
They had the quicker hands. They were attacking. They were countering. It was insane, dude. Like, I have not seen J-Dub and Dylan dismantled like that. Even the Johns brothers, I'm not sure they really dismantle them to that degree.
Yeah.
And Fed and Hayden were just phenomenal. They pickled him in the third game.
Yeah. I've talked to Rafa quite a bit, and we both prefer the right side because we're lefties.
Yeah.
But we've both been experimenting a little bit more with the offside, with the left side. And we both said there's so much more opportunity to create chances or create shots from the offside.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. And maybe that's what we're seeing more with Gabe and Hayden and all these right side players.
Yeah. I talked to James Ignatowicz this week, and he actually told me that he may end up he's thinking about just focusing and becoming just like an insane right side player.
I think in today's game, I think you need to be able to play both and then maybe specialize a little bit in one side. Yeah. But for most players, I think they need to be able to play both sides.
So let's talk about this. Did Fed hang on with Pablo too long? I mean, we're 2 tournaments after they break up and he wins a gold. Is this his first gold?
I think so.
His first men's doubles.
But he
gold.
did well with Matt Wright in Atlanta.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But then with Ignatowicz, they didn't do well, but there was a lot of weather issues there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully we see more of Fed and Hayden. I mean, obviously that's a good team. I think the thing with Hayden is he's been playing with Callan, who's his boy, right? And he's played a little bit with Pablo. You know, but Fed is a top 5, top 7 men's doubles player. And you don't see Hayden. We haven't seen Hayden play with somebody like that often.
I played with Hayden last MLP, and the second time we played, we did incredible. He played lights out.
Yeah. Well, you guys beat J-Dub.
Yeah.
And was it
Colin?
Yeah. Yeah. And then
I don't think we lost one game the entire second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, Hayden, like we said, we know how good Hayden can be.
Yeah.
And so congrats to him. I hope Jerry is freaking pouring one out, getting excited.
Yeah.
Hayden's mom, Jennifer, is a saint.
A saint.
Absolutely love that whole family. So big win for Big H.
Yeah, congrats.
And
That's
Fed,
awesome.
obviously. I don't want to undersell Fed because Fed has been the most consistent player probably in PPA this year, top to bottom. Maybe more than Ben even.
Yeah, it depends on what you're going off of. Results or play? Or both?
I mean, result-wise, it seems like he's always there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So he's definitely right there, one and 2 with Ben.
Okay, let's get into women's doubles.
Okay, so women's doubles went exactly how you would expect. Catherine and Annalie just rolled through everybody.
Meg and Etta pulled out. Meg was, I believe,
food poisoning,
something like that.
Yeah, she said she had food poisoning. So I think that is a big obstacle that ends up pulling out. And then you end up getting, I mean, Annalie and Catherine, they were really freaking good as always.
Let's just go to the finals.
But we get to the final and they crushed Anna and Rachel. Did
you watch it?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, like, I blinked and it was over.
Yeah.
Anna and Rachel scored 8 points total in 3 games. And honestly, it wasn't even that close. They got hammered, and Catherine and Annalie were on fire. I mean, they were poaching. They were winning every speed up. Anna and Rachel actually weren't even like, I don't know. It was weird. They just both weren't playing great, and it just felt like a perfect storm, and everything just kind of started to roll downhill.
Okay.
So congrats, Annalie and Catherine pick up the win there. And
it seems like we're getting a little bit of the women's team switching it up to some extent, which I think is fun. I think we're seeing a lot more opportunities with these teams. However, I think it's hard to mesh with these teams that continue to switch up. It's fun for viewership because you see something new, but for Annalie and Catherine, I mean, they're playing every single tournament. Yeah,
the consistency matters. I mean, so Leia and Vivian Glausman played together, and they end up losing in 3 to Chow Yi Wang and Brooke Buckner. You know, because of Dominique Schaefer and Lane Sleeth. They actually make a run to the quarters.
Yep.
Right? What was the other one that I thought was? Oh, Callie Smith and Alex Trong.
Yep.
They made a run to the quarters.
Yep.
So we did see, you know, we are seeing a lot of people kind of mixing it up and some new partnerships, but we're also seeing some MLP partnerships. Paris and Vivian playing together, right? Tyra and Georgia playing together. There's been some interesting, you know, new partnerships where people I think are trying to get a little bit of practice in. And like you said, the Catherine and Annalie consistency it's huge for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tyra and Georgia end up winning bronze. I mean, I feel like Tyra has kind of had a sneaky good season. You know, first half of the season, I'll say. I would
say more so the last 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So congrats to them. Let's go mixed doubles.
Okay, mixed doubles.
Mixed doubles was a little bit interesting, Tyler.
Are we live right now? Is this a hot mic?
Yeah, hot mic time. First of all, Megan Dazan dodged the bullet and didn't have to play with the H. Johnson.
Okay.
So I'm sure it's worth throwing up not having to play with him. Oh, just kidding.
I can't laugh, dude. I'm going to get in trouble. Like I said at the beginning, this show has brought so many good things to us.
Yeah.
So many more fans, but it's also created a couple more.
There's some haters.
A couple more haters out there.
There's some haters. It's okay.
Anytime I'm playing, go KOTC, where's Jimmy?
So you played, let's talk about this. You played with Caitlin Christian.
Yes, first time.
First time. You guys played Naveen Beasley and Katarina Biakina.
Yep.
I mean, you put them to bed in a hurry.
We played really well, yeah.
Yeah, and then you end up playing Julian and Maggie.
So this, I'm not going to make, well, I am making excuses.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think Julian, I think he likes me, and he actually likes you, but he tries to prove a point. And so if I play against him, I feel like he's wanting to play extra hard. And he played incredible. He played great the first two games.
He was great. It was honestly, it's the best Julian's played all year.
Yeah.
Like I watched it. It was on championship court.
Yeah.
It was the best he's played all year.
Yeah.
I think because I made a comment about him mailing it in and cashing checks, he was trying to prove that he's actually still good, and he showed that he's still good.
So do you have an apology to make?
So Julian, you proved your point. You are still good at pickleball when you want to be. So yeah, that was a good win. I mean, they played well.
Yeah.
I actually think Caitlin is very skilled, but again, we talked about this with MLP, and I don't think Caitlin Christian is a premier level player if the Brashas play, if Lucy plays, if Lauren Stratman plays. Mm-hmm. She's a challenger level player.
So I talked to her briefly.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of this year, she said she was focusing on singles because she felt like that's what she had the best chance at and everything like that. She was training for it. But she said, I've kind of decided to switch to focus more so on doubles.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, she's good.
Yeah, I mean, if she starts focusing more so on doubles, I mean, I thought she played pretty well.
By the way, Jeannie Bouchard won her first round match.
In mixed or?
In mixed, yeah.
Oh, she beat DJ and Christine.
She basically beat the version of herself from 10 years ago, Christine McGrath.
Yeah, that's crazy. 11-9 in the third.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Good win there. And then, so moving on, I mean, Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz get Julian and Maggie. They beat them 7-8. Fed and Rachel continue to do well. Jack again loses in the round of 16 with Catherine.
All right, so let's talk about them.
Yeah.
How far?
It's done. You got to be done. Here's the thing. Catherine's getting married.
Mm-hmm. So that means she's done.
No. Yes. Her life is over. No, she's getting married. She's taking time off for her wedding.
Okay.
I think it's in Mexico.
It is Cabo.
Did you get invited?
I don't. It's very small. Athena said.
Oh, is that because you asked for an invite and she was like, "Sorry, Tyler, it's
no.
very small." Okay,
no.
So
I thought you were going to make a "that's what she said" joke.
No, it's very small,
yeah.
Athena. Okay.
Moving on. Anyways,
my point is she's going to take some time off. I wouldn't shock me if she comes back and she just tells Jack we're good. Right? Because Catherine made deep runs all of last year in mixed.
Yeah.
And now she's losing round of 16.
Yeah.
Essentially every tournament with Jack.
Yeah.
And that's got to be wearing on her at some point.
But she is winning every single women's doubles.
She is.
So if you're
they're both with Selkirk and Money Talks.
Yeah. So I don't know. Who do you think she would pair well with?
Well, it just depends, like who's available.
So obviously she did well with Tyson.
Yeah, so she did well with Tyson.
I'd like to say we did well in MLP.
Yeah.
We've only done one tournament this year.
Yeah. Would she go back to Riley? Thomas?
Well, Thomas won't leave.
Thomas won't leave it, but what about Riley?
I think there's a little bit of bad blood, maybe.
Tina Pisnick didn't play in this one, so Deckel played with Vivian Glasman. Mm-hmm. Would she play with Deckel?
I think Deckel and Tina are playing this whole year.
I think they should. They're doing very well. But yeah, that's the question. It's easy to drop somebody. It's kind of what Fed and Pablo did. Mm-hmm. Fed and Pablo waited. There's rumors about them breaking up for a month because they were waiting to fill out partnerships to see if they could get better partners. Megan and Tyson did the same thing. Yeah. Now, Tyson played with Paris. I don't know if he's available or if he has availability, but yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So mixed finals.
Yeah. So mixed finals. So we get Ben and Annalie taking on James and Anna.
Okay.
So it's game 3. So Ben and Annalie win 1 and 2 fairly easily. Game 2 was 11-9, but James and Anna scored a couple points late. They never actually tied it. Mm-hmm. I think it was 10-7, 10-6 at one point. So it's game 3. It's 4-0. James and Anna call a timeout. Ben and Annalie go and sit down. Mm-hmm. And Annalie makes a comment about Anna Bright's drives, about it being like a drop drive type of thing. And Ben says it's like Tyra's. or maybe Annalise says it's like Tyra's. And Ben all of a sudden makes this comment essentially saying that
I can't.
you might want to leave for this,
Yeah.
but this is going to be great. Basically says that Tyra backspins her drives. So remember they're mic'd up on the bench. Says that Tyra backspins her drives, and he literally goes like, did you even play tennis? Like he makes a comment like that. And then you see Lee over there, like making fun of Tyra's grip on her paddle. Tyra's not even playing, by the way. And Tyra's supposed to be friends with the Waters. Like she got invited to Annalie's birthday. So she's
Did you get an invite?
No, of course not, because she's not of age. I wouldn't have gone. Anyways, she's like making fun of it, and then they're like laughing and cackling and kind of making fun of how Tyra hits her drives, which was really a weird thing when you're not even playing her. And it all was all caught on the mic. And then Annalie points to the mic, and Ben all of a sudden like gets really quiet and then what's funny is Lee doesn't understand that Annalie's pointing to the mic, and she's still like over there cackling, holding the paddle, looking like a clown. But I guess they're on the clown, so it makes sense. But what do you think about that? Do you think it matters? Do you think it's funny? Do you care? I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal. Don't get me wrong.
PPA loves it. They love this type of drama. Anything to get eyeballs,
Ben
more
and
exposure.
Lee are going to complain, and those mics are going to leave the bench
No, they'll keep them.
because what Ben says goes.
The sport is bigger than them.
No way.
Yes.
Okay, Connor, don't do it. Okay, please. Let's not do this. Leave them there. It's funny. Yeah, I think it's kind of hurtful probably for Tyra. So Tyra, I'll apologize for them. But also, it was just kind of a weird moment that like you're in the middle of a match with Ben or with James and Anna, and they're talking about Anna's drives and how they're like drop drives.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, like Tyra's. And what's funny is he literally said, like, did she even play tennis? Or didn't she play tennis? And all I thought was she did play tennis, and she busted Annalie's ass with that horrible drive that you guys are making fun of in singles.
Yeah.
She beat Annalie. So if it's that bad and she beat her, what's that say about you? Right? But it was weird.
I'm sure Annalie would love to play her again.
Yeah, but Tyra did the ultimate boss move. She
quit.
beat her and she quit. She walked away.
I don't know if that's the boss move or not.
I think it is, dude.
I feel like it's not.
I think it's the most.
You got to stay and play.
Why? No, you don't have to.
Prove that you're actually the best.
She doesn't have to.
She does have to.
Because all we're ever going to talk about is Tyra's last singles win was a win over Annalie. Bro,
that's what happened with Paris, and she's back in the scene.
Yeah, and now we don't remember that Paris beat Annalie. But
Yeah.
we remember that Tyra did.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyra's backspin drive caused Annalie to have a complete mental breakdown.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Ben and Annalie did win, so congrats to them.
On that line, we've had some questions come in, say, should players be mic'd up, like during play?
They should be on the court.
During play?
Yeah, at least have like one. You know how NFL will mic up one player or an NBA? Mic up one guy, and then, but here's the thing is you mic them up, but then you don't play it live, and then you can go through and cut what you need to cut, and then you put together
It'll take too long for them to cut.
This is what they're paid for. This is why they have editors.
Yeah.
And then you put together clips for people to watch. And yeah, that stuff's funny. Like, that's what people want to see.
Okay. Men's singles. Did we do that?
No, we haven't. Men's singles. I bet you'll be shocked who won men's singles.
I'm shocked.
Are you shocked?
No, who is it?
Federico Stocksrud with a big win over J-Dub. Does that surprise you?
No.
How many golds is that for Fed this year? So last week he misses his first final of this season, and then he comes back and he wins. He ends up winning today over J-Dub. Beats him 11-4, 11-5.
Yeah.
And then Kwang Duong.
Wing Jung.
No, that's wrong. I don't know. Beats Dylan 11-7, 11-1. So J-Dub and Dylan had a rough day.
Yeah.
You think they were just tired?
Possibly. Yeah.
You know who else we didn't talk about? Speaking of Kwang Duong, him and Noe Cliff had a pretty good run in men's doubles.
Yes. They also Spencer Smith and Chuck Taylor. They beat Julian and Jack Monroe.
Yeah, that's a good win. And Spencer had a win in mixed with, I can't remember who he played.
Is it Ling?
Oh, Ling Wei Kong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had a pretty good win in mixed. So.
Who was that over?
Can't remember, but it was someone that was actually relatively respectable. It wasn't like Robert Slutsky. Just kidding.
That's like Ben and Emily pulling out Tyro mid-match. Why'd you have to pull him out?
It was Rachel Retger and Craig Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
cool. Any crazy things in men's singles?
No, I mean, not anything. I mean, Jack lost again.
He almost lost his first round match against Moda.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a weird match.
That was a weird match.
There was a lot of chirping going on, a lot of line calls going on.
Yeah. And it went 11-9 in the third.
Jack was up pretty big in the game 3, and then it got, I think he was up, honestly, 10-2 or maybe 10-4.
Yeah. Yates Johnson beat Tyson.
Yep.
The other one was Spencer Smith beat Donald Young.
First round.
Yep.
I
mean, that shows you how hard, like we said, there's nothing easy. I mean, Roscoe Bellamy makes the finals in LA or gets a bronze medal in LA 2.5 months ago. And we haven't heard from him since.
Yeah. Well, we heard from him in men's doubles.
Yeah, we also heard him on the mic. He actually was good on the mic. He was pretty solid.
Whose match did he do?
He did a bunch. Nice. He was on quite a bit. And so, yeah, anyways, Jaume loses to Dylan Frazier. J-Dub ends up beating Dylan in 3. J-Dub actually beat Connor Garnett. Fed and J-Dub in the finals, and Fed picks up the big win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good win for Fed. I mean, he's back. I mean, that's double golds. Mm-hmm. Double golds for Fed.
Yep.
Who do you think won women's singles?
Annalie Waters.
Shocker, right? Are you shocked by that?
No. I've said for a long time, she is so far ahead.
Yeah. So I did say that Catherine would get back to a championship Sunday today, this week, because Leia pulled out, and she did. But she ends up losing 3 and 4. And then Brooke Buckner gets another medal. I think this is her third.
Brooke is good in singles. She's doing really well. She's had some great results.
She beats Dominique Schaefer.
Okay.
So congrats on that. And we coming up now this week, couple days.
Yep.
MLP.
But first, we got to give a big shout out to our next sponsor of this segment, which is C&D Pickleball Nets.
Yes.
Jimmy, what do you have to say about C&D Pickleball Nets?
I love C&D Pickleball Nets. Obviously, they are the best nets. I mean, they have the website to prove it, thebestpickleballnets.com.
Yep.
Look, in Utah, I know about other places, but I think we've seen it in other places. Dallas, PPA a couple weeks ago. Yep. Utah, we get these summer storms, and these storms are big. They come through in a flourish. They flash flood. We get 30, 40, 50 mile per hour winds. Trees get knocked down, all this stuff. But for whatever reason, that C&D net is still standing.
Even with the wheels on it. Not just the ones that have the flat base, but the wheels. Yeah. Once you lock them in place, they stay in place. And it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the most iconic venue in the entire world, City Pickle in New York, they're using C&D pickleball nets for all their courts. Yeah. If you're building a facility,
MLP uses C&D
MLP
nets.
uses C&D
APP,
pickleball
the
nets.
official net of APP.
Yeah. So anyways, we're thrilled to be partnered with them. We are stoked to have them sponsoring KOTC. If you're in need of a pickleball net, go check them out. It supports us, and it also is getting you the best product.
And we've talked about this, but they will do custom nets. They'll do custom colors. They actually have ball blockers they make. Jamie Foxx has some sick ball blockers in his house. So go check them out. There's nothing better on the market. It doesn't make any sense to drop $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a brand new pickleball court, and then you spend $130 on a net, or you buy some flimsy net that's not going to last. Go spend a little bit extra, get the best net on the market, and then you never have to worry about it again. So check them out, thebestpickleballnets.com.
Okay. All right. So this upcoming week, 1 or 2 days after this releases, we are back at it again with Major League Pickleball DC version. So it starts, does Challenger start on Thursday?
Challenger starts on Thursday. There's 3 matches.
Okay.
One of them will be the California Black Bears.
Okay.
Actually, 2 of them will be the California Black Bears.
This is obviously in DC. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty hot and humid.
We're looking at 90 degrees and 90% humidity.
Okay.
Outdoor.
Okay.
The location is interesting. It's in the 7th ward of DC, if you know DC.
Is it at a YMCA or
It's at it's called something tennis. It's like at a tennis academy type place. That's like, it looks like it's a place where essentially like not troubled, but like inner city kids go and they can do after school programs and learn to play tennis and pickleball and things like that. So that's cool because they'll be able to watch. I hope that they'll be able to come and watch the matches, but it's definitely not like a Lifetime or, anything like that. So,
okay. So you'll be there.
I will be there.
Wood. Knock on wood.
I leave Tuesday.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. So the first matches start 2:00 on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. The very first match of the day, the Brooklyn Aces against the Atlanta Bouncers.
Woo.
So right away, we'll see Lane Sleeth. We'll see Daniel De La Rosa. Right. Martin Emmerich. And then Jeannie. Yeah, Jeannie. There's a Jeannie. I don't know who this other player is. I think it's Jeannie.
Okay.
Anyways, and then on the flip
give
side,
a little update with your team. So DJ and Rafa are the men, and then
so we actually have breaking news.
Okay,
on the pod. Breaking news: we play Thursday at 4:00. Our first match is against the Smash. I will 100% promise you that I will be in Rettenmeyer's ear. I will light him up. I hope Graham is there. Right? Anyways, but. Breaking news, California Black Bears. We regret to inform you. DJ Young,
the number one pick for your team.
Our number one pick has a wrist injury. He hurt his wrist. It was hurting him for a while. It got better. He told us around draft day that he was healthy, felt good. Sounds like he may have re-injured it in Sacramento, and he is pulled out.
Gotcha.
Of DC.
Gotcha.
So we will not have DJ Young.
Okay.
They give you a list of replacements that you could potentially go after. It's not a big list. But we picked up a player that we're very, very familiar with. Spencer Smith.
Spencer's
from Utah.
Former partner. Yep.
He's from Utah. He, Jason Peary knows him really well, our coach. Obviously, I know Spencer very, very well. He's made 2 MLP finals. Playing last year, he played for the Night Owls in the very first event. He made the finals with Yates Johnson, Susanna Barn, and Emily Ackerman, who is also, she's very familiar with him. And so, we went through a bunch of different players. We talked to different players. There's some players that weren't even available, that we were interested in. And we settled on Spencer, and we're pumped. I think that Spencer is going to really help us.
Okay.
He's consistent, good right side player, and he's
good in singles. Yep. He just beat Donald Young.
Yeah, and that actually upgrades our our singles a little bit. DJ obviously is a great player. He was our first round pick for a reason. He's going to be missed. The people that don't know the way this works is we actually have an injured reserve spot. So DJ has not been dropped. We're allowed to put DJ on injured reserve and pick up Spencer. And then after DC, we have to decide essentially if DJ is healthy or not. Yeah.
So we're not going to go through all your matchups. It'll just take too much time,
because we're going to beat the Smash. We're not going to lose. 7-0. Here we come.
It's going to be awkward if that doesn't happen.
I'm just kidding. That'd be tough. 7-0 will be tough, but I think we'll play well. I'm excited. I'm excited for DC.
All right. Well,
so the first day is just challenger matches.
Okay.
And then the second day is Premier starts on Friday.
Yeah, so there's also another 1 or 2 people that are injured as well.
So your very first match, the Utah Black Diamonds.
We play Friday, 10 a.m.
Friday, 10 a.m. against the Texas Ranchers.
Yep. So that's Christian Alshon, Pablo,
Etta Wright,
and Tina?
And Tina Pisnick. Well, breaking news on the pod, which this has not been announced yet, and they could still change their mind. But
maybe this changes.
But in our search for a replacement, we were told this news. Christian Alshon is out of MLP.
Okay.
He will not be in DC. And the Ranchers
have selected
Kwang Dung, Wang Yung.
You're getting canceled.
What? I'm saying, however, Emily Ackerman's mother, which by the way, that pod's coming out, pronounced it, is correct.
You just said 3 versions of it. She did not pronounce it 3 different ways.
I'm just telling you, QD picked up for the Ranchers.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
It's an interesting pick. Kwong's been doing really good recently. The past 2 months, even in doubles, he's been doing well. Singles, he's always done well. This entire year, he's done well. But doubles, he's been doing quite a bit better.
Been doing better, right? So he'll be paired with Pablo.
Yep. I imagine a lot of drives, especially in the rally scoring format.
And then do you put him then he'll probably be paired with Tina.
Yes. Yep.
So it'll be very interesting. How they do and how he does in his very first MLP, and he is getting thrown right into the fire.
I think their doubles will actually still be fairly solid, but I think their singles will be downgraded.
Without Alshon?
Well,
is he better than Alshon at singles?
No, I was just thinking of Etta and Tina.
Oh, yeah, but they're going to be there.
They were there anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he's just as good as Alshon in singles.
Okay.
But their doubles are definitely going to suffer a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think mixed doubles will really suffer. Mm-hmm. But let's see. I mean, like I said, he's never played MLP. He doesn't understand the energy. He doesn't understand how it's just a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And he's not going challenger. He's going straight to premier. Mm-hmm. So,
do you know of any other players that are injured or pulling out for this one?
I do not at this moment. Jay is healthy.
As of now, he claims he is.
Sounds like Jay's healthy. Arizona is not playing, so they do not need to replace the SQ right now. Mm-hmm. But one thing that we do know is after DC is when you can drop.
Gotcha.
And so there'll be a waiver wire, and it's based off of the team with the worst record and the lowest points will select first on the waiver wire, and the best team will select last.
Gotcha.
So that's how the waiver wire will work. I don't know if they'll go premier teams get to select first and then challenger.
Okay.
I honestly don't know how that's going to work, because what if a premier team wants to select a challenger player that's dropped? Mm-hmm. Or, I think it's more likely a challenger player wants to select a premier player that's been dropped, a challenger team. So maybe a premier goes first. I'm not sure how that'll work, but
you're the president here. You should get a little bit more info.
If you saw some of the emails, nobody's really sure how much works these days. So with that being said, I think the Mad Drops will not be there.
Okay.
Hard Eights won't be there. Who's the other team? Oh, Breakers won't be there for Challenger.
And Arizona won't be there.
Arizona won't be there. So the 4 West Coast teams, other than the Black Bears.
Is DC there?
DC is there. Yep.
All right. Somebody told me that they weren't, and I thought
they're there.
Yeah.
DC's been doing a lot of promotion and prep work for this.
Yep.
So everybody, those are the 4 that won't be there.
Okay. So you're excited to see your BFF, Kyle McKenzie?
Yeah. I mean, Tyson. Oh, Orlando's not there.
Okay.
Tyson won't be there.
That's right. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Actually, that hurts me.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see him. What? Some teams don't even play until it's just such a weird.
The scheduling is really weird.
It's weird. So like New York Hustlers, they don't play till Friday.
Do
they play Friday or Saturday? They play Friday.
They play Friday.
But they only play 2 games Friday and like 2 games Saturday, and then they're done, I think.
Yeah.
Some other teams only play 3 matches.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hustlers play. That's a bad example. They play like 6. But other teams only play like 3, which is kind of a weird thing. We play 7 because we didn't play the previous, So, I mean, I'm not going to make any predictions because last time I got a lot of grief.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. So us, the Black Bears, and the Night Owls, well, this will be their first tournament.
Okay.
First tournament's the Black Diamonds. First tournament.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Exciting. Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff.
When do you get there?
I am getting there Wednesday evening.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did the Black Diamond step up? Have you got your uniform yet?
No, I might go pick it up today.
Where is it?
At Connor's house.
Oh.
He said he got it delivered just today.
Oh. Who's doing it?
I don't know. Well, Stack is the title sponsor for them.
Yeah, Stack did ours.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. How did it turn out?
They look sick, dude. We actually shipped ours directly to DC.
Oh, nice.
Well, nice.
That'd be a shame if they got lost.
Nice if they're not there, because reality is I could have picked them up and just taken them with me.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Okay, anything else?
No. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in pickleball right now that are kind of interesting, right? I mean, I don't know if you saw that Pablo is not with Selkirk anymore. He's with Lotto.
I did see that. Yeah.
Lotto has a paddle. What do you think?
It's not out though, is it?
He's using it, but I don't think
for sale.
What do you think of Pablo's shirt? that match the ball. You think
Our
that's
next
okay?
sponsor,
Yeah.
Vulcan Pickleball, the V Pro Flight. They used the next gen ball in this tournament. And from my understanding, from my feedback, it was pretty well received overall.
Reviews were good.
For the most part.
Like,
obviously, you're going to have some players who don't like it, but for the most part, the biggest complaint about this ball up till now was that it got lopsided or weird bounces.
So they asked Annalie an interview. In an interview, and she, after one of her matches, and she literally said, her exact words were, "It's not going out around anymore." She said they're not going out around, which is the whole goal. Now, she did say that it's playing slow, and then of course somebody had to explain to her, even though she just graduated high school, that when it's 100 degrees out, balls get soft and mushy. It doesn't matter what ball you're playing with, and that's why it's going to play slow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if in her homeschooled way she learned.
So Vulcan, the biggest compliment they received, they told me, is that Julian Arnold, he's been probably the biggest critique of the Vulcan ball.
Julian's complaining about something?
He was.
That's weird.
He complimented them. He said,
Really?
"Good job on this new ball."
Do you think that's because he got a win?
I don't know.
Over
maybe,
you?
Maybe. I think it was after that match.
Yeah. He's like, hey, great job. Tyler could not put this ball away.
But he did say that. So that is good. That's a pretty big compliment.
Should we get Julian on the pod?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get H on the pod now too.
Yeah. We need to get a lot of people on the pod.
I know, but Hayden keeps ghosting us.
Yeah.
It's too cool.
Should we bring this to DC?
We could.
Yeah. Just set up on a corner.
I mean, we'll just go. Yeah. I mean, they only have the one thing with DC with MLPs. This I was going to ask you this because you talk to these dudes, but there's only 2 courts that they use for MLP. But logistically, I just have a question with PPA, and maybe someone can write in and answer this. Maybe Liv Borski knows. But they're packing up Sacramento right now, right now, and then they throw it in a truck and they're going to drive across the country.
That could be, or I think they have a separate team.
Or they have another team.
Yeah, I think they have a separate team. So this one's going to be quite a bit smaller. So like the Pickleball Central, they're setting up there, but it's like a 10 by 20 booth rather than a 20 by 40.
So it may not be like them driving cross country with all the same stuff.
Exactly.
And trying to be all set up by Thursday.
I think so, yeah.
Seems like they couldn't even get there by Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, but there's like hours you can only drive, right? Yeah. Anyways, I was just curious how that worked, or if they're outsourcing it, or.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I think the goal is to get to 2 teams. So one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, but I don't know if they're there yet. But I do know this DC, I mean, the venue's smaller. And so everything is minimized.
And like I said, there's only 2 courts, but they are doing an amateur tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are doing it. Have we seen how many people are signed up for that?
No.
Let's see.
Gotcha. Anyways, back to the sponsor of this segment, the Vulcan V Pro Flight. Thank you for the sport. They do have a new ball that is in testing, and I think they're going to test. This is my opinion. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think they're testing one more tournament, and then depending on how the feedback is on that tournament, they'll put it into mass production. So,
gosh. Okay, never mind. I was like, dude, nobody has signed up for this. There's only 44 players, but it's teams, not players.
Gotcha.
And so it's because it's MLP format. So there's actually 44 teams signed up, and there's actually teams waitlisted.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So if you're interested in purchasing the ball, go to vulcansportinggoods.com, use code KOTC, or check them out at Pickleball Central. Use code KOTC. Also, if you buy a paddle at Pickleball Central, you get 2 free balls.
Premium balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's also something to keep in mind.
Performance. What do they call them? Performance? Premium?
Something like that.
Yeah. And the other thing with like you said, Vulcan, if you want to play the ball that you're going to play, if you're going to play at an amateur tournament MLP, and you want to play with the ball that you're going to play with, you got to go to Vulcan Sporting Goods or Pickleball Central.
Okay, getting into questions. All right. You ready?
Yeah, I was born ready, Tyler.
Oh, real quick. We didn't even talk about this.
Uh-oh.
Stickergate.
Stickergate. What do you think about that?
Explain it to us, Jimmy.
So James Ignatovich had an overhead. Hits an overhead. The sticker on his paddle. So what happens is when you get paddle tested, once your paddle is approved, they take a sticker and they put it on the paddle. They put it kind of at the base by the handle.
Yep.
The PPA does this. The paddle testers do it. This is not something that the players do. So James Ignatovich has an overhead. He swings, puts the ball away. His sticker falls off of his paddle into the kitchen.
Yep.
And if any part of anything falls from your body into the kitchen, it's actually a fault.
Yep.
And so they gave James Ignatowicz a fault, called a fault on him for the sticker falling off of his paddle into the kitchen.
Yeah.
What an asinine thing. Like, you could call the fault, and then once you realize it was his paddle sticker, maybe. But what a ridiculous. You guys put the sticker on. He didn't want that sticker.
He for sure did not want that sticker.
Yeah, he didn't choose that sticker.
The only thing is, I understand both sides, but it is a rule. Like, you can't get mad at the refs for enforcing it.
I'm not saying but it's ridiculous.
Do you want to hear my conspiracy?
That he switched that sticker.
He switched that sticker. That's why it fell off.
That's why it wasn't very on there.
I don't have my stickers fall off.
That's why it wasn't on there. Dude, your sticker's going to fall off next.
Yeah.
But what if it's because they're so wet and sweaty and he like touched it?
No, he for sure switched it.
So he switched the sticker.
Yeah.
And it didn't stick very well, and he screwed himself.
But that also just goes to show you how easy it could be to switch the stickers if you wanted.
Yeah, we saw someone switch the stickers.
Yeah.
QD switch sticker on a paddle in Palm Springs. He wasn't doing it like I don't feel like he did it in a malicious cheating way. He literally was, I think he was using a whitish paddle, and Ben was complaining about it.
No, it was my match.
Oh, was it your match?
It was my match, yeah.
Okay.
He just switched it to a different paddle.
He switched to a different paddle, and they said that one hasn't been approved yet. And so he went and grabbed the sticker, and he stuck it to the paddle.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't do that.
But it's got the sticker.
But it had the sticker. So, but the fact that he didn't know that he couldn't do that makes you wonder if other people are just doing it.
Yeah.
And if you're like a low level dude, you're not like, you're on court 32 all the time.
That they still need to figure out testing. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Question time. All right. Is Riley smart enough to stick with Gabe and let him play more aggressive?
I don't think it's Riley's choice. I think that Gabe Tardio is such a hot commodity now that he's going to be able to choose who he wants.
Is the super aggressive left side player strategy in men's doubles done for?
No, I think that's still there. I just think that now you're going to have a right side player that's going to help match that aggression. I'm telling you, dude, that right side aggression, like a right side player that can attack, that's the way pickleball is going. Mm-hmm. It really is. I mean, Tardio, Hayden, if Ignatowicz can get there, or I mean, if you have a freaking it's the same thing that Ben Johns talked about with wanting a lefty. Mm-hmm. Well, if you can't find a lefty because there's only a few of them, then why not get a right side guy that's aggressive?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more so that I think the team needs at least one aggressive. I don't think it has to be the right side or the left side, as long as one of those players is aggressive, because Riley, he's similar to Diescu in that he defends a lot, but I think Riley actually has a little bit more offense than Diescu.
I think so too, but Riley also had 3 overheads against James and Anna.
His overheads are
but he didn't
not
hit
what
him.
He's known for.
He's hit with freaking 2-handed backhands instead of circling it and hitting a forehand overhead. And then he missed.
Yeah.
So
how do you feel about Sock's demeaning behavior toward lower ranked pros in pickleball?
Yeah, that's interesting because obviously you don't hear everything. I think Saka's having fun and he doesn't feel like he's like being a total dick. He just feels like he's having fun and talking and chirping, but he seems to be getting a bit of a reputation of kind of, being a little bit of a douchebag. Mm-hmm. And
you love that.
I don't hate it personally. Mm-hmm. I think it's funnier that he's not backing it up at this point. Mm-hmm. I mean, he definitely wasn't, when he played Beasley and Kevin Dion.
Those guys are the nicest guys.
Nice guys. Yeah. So there wasn't like a lot.
No.
And he's playing with Thomas Wilson, who also is a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Even though another group of people for some reason don't think he is. Mm-hmm. But I just think it's good for the sport. I think it's entertaining. Mm-hmm. Right. And if you're not,
I can't tell you how many people came up to me after my previous doubles match and said that was the funnest match I've ever seen. They said that should have been on center court. They said somebody came up to me and said, I've never seen you get that intense.
Was it
match.
you, the Roscoe Yates one? Yeah. I think that's fun. I think that's fun for pickleball. So I don't hate it when that Sock is doing that. What I think is funny about it is that he's shutting up unintentionally all of these tennis players who think that, we heard all the time, wait till the real D1 tennis players come to pickleball.
Yeah.
Well, they've come and they're not doing anything.
The highest level of tennis players have come.
Yeah. Now, I mean, they
have literally come.
Now we have Sam Querrey and we have Jack Sock And I mean, well, frick, Kim Clijsters
And there's a lot of others that have tried it that just haven't actually pursued it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kim Clijsters played with Caitlin Kerr in an APP event.
Yeah.
You know, so they're here.
So I was watching Sock's match, and it was his first round against Moda, and I didn't understand the whole thing. I kind of got there a little bit late, but I don't know if there's a spectator that was taunting Jack or just kind of messing around or something like that. But Jack was getting into it with him, and he said, "Hey, do you want to come play me on the court right now? Like, come on the court right now."
Yeah.
And it shut the guy up, but it was a little bit interesting, the interaction there.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a player last week, and she said something really interesting. She said, you know, pickleball players are still very, very accessible. Yeah. Pro players are still extremely accessible.
They'll be accessible for the next 3 years too.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that Jack Sock is probably not used to that, you know, yet.
Yeah. The other thing that I mentioned a while ago is on the pickleball court, if you're watching, most of the time you are literally 10 to 15 feet away max.
Yeah.
You are so close to the court. Even tennis courts, you're further away.
Yeah. Well, like
you're 50, 80 feet away.
Well, like also after a match, right? Djokovic, he goes under the tunnel straight to the locker room. Yeah. He's not walking through the venue. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's what you're doing in pro pickleball. Yep. You guys are walking through the venue amongst the fans after a match.
Yep. 100%. Somebody said, how is the Alpha legal? Isn't it a Gen 3?
It is a Gen 3. For whatever reason, that Alpha, they must have submitted the right paperwork. I did notice also, it looked like some YOLA players were actually using like the, what's the word? The prototypes that were originally sent. They're called like the Theseus or something.
There's a couple versions of them.
Yeah.
The mod.
That were actually sent in originally. And I guess those were passed by USAP.
Yeah. But
they were back to using those.
They're like the same though.
Yeah.
They're literally almost the same.
Yeah. I think that they found a loophole.
Somebody said, what happened to Irina? Do you know what happened to her?
I don't know what happened to Irina. Fresno's only about 6-hour drive from Sacramento. So I'm surprised she's not playing. Maybe she's just focusing on MLP. I mean, she's 43 years old at this point.
Irina?
Yeah, isn't she?
Bro.
Dude, she is. I saw it.
She is not 43.
How old do you think she is?
She's not 43.
How old?
Look it up right now.
I am. You keep going.
All right. Somebody said eye protection. Paddle power is going up.
She's 40. She's 41.
Really?
Born March 3rd, 1983.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
See?
I would not have guessed.
So I think
she's doing something right.
Yeah. Maybe she's just taking some time off.
Eye protection. Paddle power is going up. How is it not impacting eye protection rules?
Well, I think that everybody has their own ability to make
Makes
that
you
choice.
slower.
Yeah. Well, Pat Smith he wishes he had it. He had to withdraw. Got hit in the face.
He wishes he was quicker.
Amanda Hendry got hit in the lip. They came out here. Blackbirds came out here to train, and Rafa hit her in the lip.
Well, that's what happens when you set up a Dinkai.
Well, I blame her partner.
Who was it?
DJ. But
pans out.
Point is I think that at some point there's going to be some sort of mandatory eye protection. Maybe not mandatory.
I don't think so.
But like the NHL, they used to not, you didn't have to wear helmets for the longest time, and then they made helmets mandatory.
Is there added pressure to win gold when you're playing with Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw it. You saw it when Anna Bright played with Ben, and they didn't do well. And you saw her sitting on that bench, and all she needed was a hug. Mm-hmm. She needed someone to tell her she's doing okay. She needed a pat on the back. She needed anything, and she couldn't get it. She literally couldn't get that from Ben, and she felt all that pressure, and she crumbled. James Ignatowicz, same thing. Absolutely.
Thoughts on the new Making MacGuffin show? It's so boring, in my opinion.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it?
I have not watched it.
Shocking.
I did get a clip sent to me. I'm not going to comment on the clip, but all I will say is that I was very, very surprised that was something that they had in the show. You've
gone soft, Jimmy.
No, this is something that but I'm just shocked that these are the types of things that you're opening up. Even like Real Housewives and stuff like that. There's certain things they leave out and they edit.
What was it?
And they're not editing.
What was it?
It was just a moment of him parenting his kids.
Like disciplining them?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And it wasn't like he didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm just surprised that it was added to the show. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just more surprised. That's all.
Is it possible to know who all the pro handles are besides Lucy on the Discord? So we have a Discord. If you're not in it and you love pickleball, come check us out. It's the KOTC Discord. It should be in the description of the show. It's where crazy people, Volnatic, just talk all things pickleball and some other random stuff. Jimmy has a lot of fans in there.
I actually think that more people hate me in the Discord than in real life. Right?
But no, I don't think it's possible. We don't even know all the pros. There's a couple in there that have burner accounts.
And they don't want to be, yeah. If they want to be, then they can out themselves.
Yeah.
This wasn't a question, but this was a tweet, okay? Curious your thoughts. Men's doubles is the most entertaining pickleball event to watch.
I would agree.
You agree?
I agree. Fully.
Even J-Dub and Dylan versus Ben and Colin?
No.
But overall?
Overall, for sure.
Did you see James Ignatowicz's response to that tweet?
No, what do you say?
So Christian Alshon sent out that tweet. Men's doubles the most entertaining pickleball event to watch. James says, not surprised by your preference for men. I like women instead. Kind of funny.
That's fine.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for James, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let me clarify. So last time I said something about people being singles specialist.
And you got a lot of grief for that.
I got a lot of grief. Let me clarify. I did not have that opinion. Somebody I was talking to that was pretty high
You don't think she
up.
looks 41?
Gosh. How old is Lucy?
30 something. I don't know.
I thought she was like 33 or
I think
something.
she's like 33.
I thought they
34.
were similar ages. That's why.
I think Lucy could be her daughter.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so last episode I said, somebody else said, and I was just reiterating it because there are other people who hold those same sentiments and feelings.
32.
Okay. About how it's weird that they're singles players and they come in and they just do well in singles, but not the other events. And so I was echoing that, wanting your feedback. And a lot of people thought that I was the one voicing that, and that was incorrect. I do not have those feelings, those sentiments. I love when singles players come in and they do well. I think it makes the sport exciting. I've always said this. I almost always root for the underdog. I love seeing upsets and stuff like that.
Me too. So
putting that out there.
Yeah, I mean, but we know this. We've talked about this a million times. It's easier to transition to singles than it is to doubles, especially as a tennis player.
Yeah.
And when the majority of players coming to pickleball are tennis players.
Yep.
Here's something I want to touch on. PPA. Your grandstand feed is atrocious. It is awful. It's horrible. The production quality is shit. I couldn't even watch it today. I felt like I was freaking getting sick. It was like blurry on the sides and then it was like bright. I don't know what's happening, but that's got to get fixed, dude.
I honestly think
I had to take Dramamine to watch it.
Huh?
I was like
I think a standard GoPro or even a phone camera actually does pretty good.
I think it'd be better than what we're watching.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Dude, it was horrid.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with it. It's like blurry at times and then like it wouldn't zoom in and then other times, like remember last tournament, it was like the middle of the court was okay, but then the sidelines were all blurry. Yeah. Like, I don't know who is running grandstand court. Like if it's the Tennis Channel guys or if maybe they just don't have they have to run it off of that because they don't have the bandwidth. I don't know, but they've got to fix it.
Yeah.
Or just don't air it because it's a joke.
No, they need to air it.
Even that bad?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I used to stream matches at the local park on my freaking iPhone SE and it was better than that.
Hey, that was a great phone. All right, we'll do a couple more questions. Somebody said, Tyler, do you think being a lefty makes it harder to find mixed doubles partners?
Yeah.
I think in the beginning, I didn't think that, but lately, the past year and a half, I think it is, which you would think would be different because you would think most of the males, they prefer playing the left side. But the females, it's different.
It's different, yes. So I have talked to several females about playing with you.
Yeah.
Not like that, sickos. And a lot of their responses have been, and maybe they're just being nice, trying to let you down easy.
Maybe.
But I actually disagree I actually think that they're not. A lot of the responses are, I don't feel comfortable on the left or I don't like playing the left. Mm-hmm. And then there's the flip side, right? There's a Tina Pisnik who who loves playing the left and wanted to play the left. That's why she played with Martin Emmerich for so long. But I think that that's 100% true. There's a lot of female players that do not want to play the left. And so it's going to limit your partner, your partner base.
Which I think is so weird because almost everyone's forehand is stronger. It should be stronger than their backhand. And so when you are on the left side, if you're a righty, then you would have that forehand in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
So lately I've been thinking that's been a little bit interesting, but I have been experimenting, like I said, with the left side. So, yeah, I think it's fun. Any other questions, Jimmy?
Would you play with another double lefty?
I would. Yeah, for sure. Rafa, he always like, dude, we should play. But
yeah. He's playing with
Pablo.
Pablo in a tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was this last, no, he was with Will
It's
probably Sacramento. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's playing with Pablo. So we're going to see two lefties.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same as two righties.
Well, and honestly, like when we were looking for a replacement for DJ, we're like, do we throw, because we have Amanda Hendry too, who's also lefty. And I was like, there was a player out there who's a lefty. You could probably guess who it is. And it was just like a brief discussion, but I was like, do we throw three lefties?
I still think that lefty righty combo is superior when executed right. Course. But I mean, Hayden and Fed, two righties, they just played incredible.
Yeah, but if you're a righty on the right side that has a really strong backhand and really strong backhand counter, then I mean you could be just as effective as a lefty.
If you made it this far, please do us a big favor, hit that like and subscribe button.
Yes.
You guys are incredible. I talked to so many of you at the tournaments, and I can't believe there's some of you guys that have literally listened to every single episode. And they talk about very intimate things or very small things that we've talked about on the show, and they bring it up. Like, dude, they are studying these our podcasts. Fans are
rad. Like, seriously, it's one of the coolest parts about this. Yeah. Even the haters. Like, I love all of you haters too. I don't really care anymore. Haters, what do they say? Haters make me famous.
Yeah.
But no, the fans are cool. Everybody
I'm not joking.
Watches.
I had a couple fans come up to me, and one of them was referencing something that we talked about over a year ago, like something very minute, very small.
Dude, my favorite too is like, I'll get these messages and they'll be like, hey, you said this or this on the pod. What about this? And they're actually like, are very thought out and like, you know, so I do like, by the way, if I'm slow, I am slow to respond to some of my DMs, but still sending those messages because they're great talking points for the pod.
There was a lady I was talking to at the tournament. She said she would fly out here to Utah if she could come on the show.
Would you let her?
I don't know.
It's like a Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, something like that. She wanted to fly out here to Utah to come on the show.
Should we do like a silent auction?
So what we've talked about is doing a call-in show 1 hour.
Yeah.
Where we somehow have you guys call in and we talk to you guys live.
Could we do a live call-in show? That'd be sick.
Yeah. Anyways, big thanks to our sponsors. Pickler.
You'd have to get that mute button ready.
Yeah. Pickler, Stack Athletics, Holy. If you're interested in some supplements, keeping you guys hydrated and not cramping, which I was on the verge of cramping this last week.
Pre-workout, post-workout, and your greens.
We'll have a code and a website for you guys next time.
Yep. And then
C&D and also Vulcan. They make this show happen. You guys are incredible. Go check them out. It supports us. It supports them. You guys are getting the best product. Thank you. And we will see you guys next time.